Hey guys, what's up? Angie here. I'm the founder of Love Inspiry LLC, where our mission is to build more powerful, transparent, and durable relationships. So I won't be able to go live this week because I have a church event that I'm trying to get ready for, and that comes first in my life. So I wanted to make sure that I just hop on and share a video with you all about relationship struggles. So for those who don't know my story, I got married very young, and my husband and I, we went through a lot of financial stress, frustration with each other, communication issues, ego, all sorts of things that kind of changed the dynamic of our relationship. And we had to find our way with the help of the Lord of how we can communicate better, how can we serve one another better, and ultimately how can we work together as a team, as a unit. And I always like to encourage people to understand that when you are dealing with relationship struggles, and of course this is with the exception of abuse, habitual infidelity, those are things that I just don't believe in. I think it's justified to walk away from a relationship in a marriage because of those things, and that's backed up even by scripture. But as far as infidelity is concerned, but I don't know what it says about abuse, but I'm pretty sure God is not going to be tolerant, or you know, he is not very pleased with men or women that physically, mentally, verbally abuse their wives or husbands. It works both ways for man and woman. But I wanted to hop on real quick because I'm very familiar with adversity, and I'm very familiar with understanding that marriage is worth fighting for when you are with circumstances like I described, like communication issues, ego, immaturity. All of these things are things that you can work through. And I encourage people to work through these things, especially if you know you are with the person that God designed you to be with. If you know without a shadow of a doubt who you are meant to be with. And I don't want people to get this impression that if you are having struggles, if you're having trials and tribulations within your relationship, that you are not meant to be with this person. And I'm a living testament to that. I have experienced financial stress to the point where we were living in motels, and yet we're still here hanging out 15 years into marriage, almost 15 years, July 2021. So you can get through these things, but you have to make that commitment that you actually want to work through these things, right? You can't just, you know, I said earlier in social media, don't be halfway in this. You got to put all of your effort into this relationship or marriage if that's what you truly desired. Like I said on Monday or Tuesday, I think, I'm not sure which day I said it, but we were promised trials and tribulations in. And one question that I wanted to pose before I jump into the 4 things that will happen if you, you know, to you and your relationship, if you stick it out through struggles and trials and tribulations within the relationship. This is my husband calling, y'all. Hold on one moment. You're promised trials and tribulations, so you're going to go through something with them. To some, I don't know the magnitude, but you're going to go through something with them. You're going to experience something. It could be, you know, God forbid, a child with a disability. It could be communication issues, which is the #1 thing. It could be financial stress. Whatever the case may, it could be something small as disagreements or arguments. It could be anything, whether minor or major, right? But why would you want to go through this with the person that you don't truly love? So you have to think about that, really understand, and then that's why it's important to understand or be sure of who you are with. Because when you are sure of who you are with, then you can make that decision to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to stick this out, and I'm going to fight for this because he or she is worth fighting for, and this relationship is worth fighting for because I see the bigger picture. And that's what I did. I'm not in this marriage, in this positive, great space right now because that's how it's always been. No, I worked to get my marriage to where it is today. I worked to get people to respect my marriage to this very day. So, you know, that's just something for you guys to think about. But I want to hop in because this video is really about 4 things that will happen to you when you stay through relationship struggles, and 4 lessons that you will learn when it comes to relationship struggles. And the first thing is, I kind of touched on it, is you will understand that you are truly meant to be with this person, right? So most of the time, I always say this, and you'll hear me say this over and over again. How do you know that this is the person? How do you know that your relationship can withstand the test of time if you have not experienced anything. You have to experience something to know if this is going to work or not. You have to experience something to learn and to grow together. And the only way that you are going to be able to do that in your relationship is with a trial or tribulation to test, hey, can you guys really work together? Can you really do this? So embrace your struggles, embrace your adversity, because what's going to happen in the end, you're going to be in this bond place of understanding that you two really are meant to be together, and that you can accomplish and overcome anything you want as a couple. So the second thing that I want to talk about, what relationship adversity will teach you, is accountability. And this is one of my favorite things to talk about, because I'm very big on women being accountable for their roles in their relationship. I'm not probably ever going to be popular, because I don't preach what's popular in this niche, right? In this relationship and marital coaching niche. I don't preach what's popular. I preach that women need to be held accountable for their actions. We need to be held accountable for this idea of perfection that does not exist. This idea that you know, all this hardship and these unrealistic expectations that we put on men. And I preach accountability. Hey, don't look at what the man is not. Focus on you, because a lot of times we aren't all that. We think we're all that because that's what we were told when we were younger. Some of us may have been daddy's girls. Some of us may have been grandpa's girls. Some of us may have been watching too many fantasy stories to where we think we are just golden girls and princesses and all that stuff. And we have lacked accountability for our role. You will learn accountability when you go through a relationship adversity, because if you want to get out of that relationship adversity, you're going to have to learn to point that finger back and identify, look in the mirror and identify, what am I doing wrong? Something that I had to do, something that I encourage all women and men to do within their relationship, because it is going to, when I tell you guys, it may scare you. You may look at it and go, oh, I don't want to be accountable. You know, and if nothing's wrong with me, sis, bro, there is something wrong with you. There's something wrong with all of us. All of us got some kind of issue, some kind of trauma, some kind of something going on that's causing us to be the best version of us, causing us not to communicate the way that we should communicate, causing us to have this unhealthy ego. Nobody's exempt. I'm not exempt either. But I wanted to share that because you will learn accountability, like I said, because you will be forced to be accountable if you want to work through your adversity. It's teamwork. And in a team, you have to identify your roles. Okay, what am I doing wrong? All right, number 3, and I kind of touched on this too, is differences don't mean uncertainty. I definitely did touch on this. Listen, here's the thing. You're going to have differences in your relationship, and what I want to encourage individuals is to understand that just because you have differences within your relationship does not mean you guys are not meant to be together. Don't let your differences cause you to be uncertain about the relationship. Differences is what makes the relationship. Who wants to be exactly like their significant other? Of course you should have things in common, things that are of importance. You know, for me, I would say religion, morals, my values, my beliefs, all of those are what's important to me. So you should have something that's important to you, typically match your significant other. But when it comes to ways of thinking, ways of operating and new ideas and opinions and all of that sort, you should be welcoming to that. That's what relationships are all about. Accepting this person. This means accepting their flaws. This means accepting their opinions, accepting their ideas. And I want to encourage every single person to understand that differences is what's going to make the relationship fun. It's what's going to make the relationship exciting. It's going to make the relationship challenging in a good way. You're always going to learn things when you have differences within the relationship. So don't let that stop you from thinking that this relationship is not for you. Tip number 4, something that you will learn with relationship adversity, is patience. And this was something that I truly learned in my relationship because obviously I was 18 when I got married, so I had this much patience. Very, very minimal, non-existent probably is the better word to use. My patience was just not there. I was young, I was reckless, I just thought that I was invincible, like nothing can happen to me. And also, you know, with that, I expected something from my husband that I was not exemplifying myself. You know, my patience was not there. And one thing that me and my husband did that helped develop my patience is we started praying together, right? So when I talk about prayer, I'm talking about prayer being a comfort to you. It doesn't necessarily change things because we believe God's will was already fixed up a long time ago, right? But it's sent as a comfort to you. And when you are comforted from a spiritual standpoint, spirituality comes into the mix. So when I was praying, when my husband and I were praying together, we were praying from a spiritual standpoint with God truly at the center, and it helped clarify some things for me from a spiritual standpoint. I was able to have more compassion. I was able to be more understanding in situations that I necessarily didn't agree with. And this is where understanding somebody's background becomes very, very important. You have to understand who you are with and why you are with them. Most importantly, who you are with, because that will help you communicate better. That will help you understand maybe why they are thinking the way that they are thinking. You may think like, shit, I mean, dang, what is wrong with this person? I have done it, but when I started to truly dig deep in understanding, that's when I was able to understand. If you can count how many times I said understand, you the real MVP. That's when I was able to truly understand my husband and everything that he was bringing to the table, understand his ideas and stuff. So you definitely will learn patience. It's kind of like having a child, right? This child goes through stages that test your nerve. And it's the same thing in your relationship. You are just developing patience. Our grandfather or grandparents, our great-grandparents, they didn't get to 50, 60 years of marriage without patience, especially the older women that may have been abused physically or verbally. Not saying that that's right, but you know, women being involved, specifically designed to be in the house. Like, you know, there was patience to deal with those older, especially those older black men. We all know about them. It took a lot of patience, and that's what happens when you're going through relationship adversity. You're learning each other ultimately. You are developing patience as you grow together and get acclimated to how you guys do things and how you guys want to accomplish things together as a couple. So I just wanted to share those things. You definitely will learn those things. I've learned them. We talked about accountability. We talked about your differences being you know, a good thing. We talked about patience, and we also talked about how you will learn that you guys are truly meant to be when you're dealing with a relationship adversity. So I hope this video wasn't too long. You stayed till the end and you understand that relationship adversity is not something to try to skate by or neglect. Embrace it, guys. Embrace it. That's really all I can say to this ending, is embrace your relationship adversity, work together, learn to work together, and I promise you, you will get in this space where you are reaping the good benefits of this. So with that being said, I hope you guys all have a blessed Wednesday. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.